Hi, this is Dexter at the Environmental Education Center. Today's feeding day, so we're going to be feeding Bob the gopher snake, and he's ready to go, so we'll get right into it. So Bob eats one mouse every week. Reptiles have slower metabolisms than mammals do, and so they just need to eat every so often. So one mouse is plenty. The mice come pre-frozen, but we warm them up. So to the snakes, it kind of feels like the real deal when they actually get to eat it. You never know how long it's going to take them to eat mice. You can definitely tell he's very interested right now, but you can see he's also very interested in the camera. So sometimes reflections in the glass also confuse them, but eventually here he'll see the mouse and he'll go for it. So I just feed these snakes. Looks like he's getting ready to go it. So I only feed these snakes once a week. We have Bob the gopher snake and Elvis the king snake. Bob is the nicer of the two, so that aggressive strike is about the best you're going to get out of him. Otherwise, he's a pretty playful, gentle snake. So you'll notice right now he's just kind of grabbing onto it really tight. He's making sure that it's dead, actually. So he's just going to hang on to it, make sure that it's not going to move around. It's not, because it was already pre-frozen, right? But you'll also notice he's not really going to chew it. As he opens and closes his mouth, he's just trying to get his mouth really, really wide so that he can swallow it whole. So again, right now he has it pinned down just to make sure it doesn't get away from him. They still have that wild instinct even though they've been in a cage for years. We figured Bob would be hungry today because you can see all the pieces of snake skin laying in the cage. He actually shed this week, which is a pretty common thing for snakes to do. They all shed regularly, and basically they lose the outside layer of all of their skin, including like their eyeballs, for example, has a layer of that skin over the top and it all comes off. They oftentimes will not eat for a week or two during that process when they're starting to shed. But when they're all done shedding, that's usually when they're more active. They're ready to eat. They also have a nice smooth kind of texture to them because they got that nice fresh skin on the outside. Once he gets his mouth as wide as the mouse is, it'll go down pretty quickly. So this part you see right now where he's kind of struggling to get the first part of it in, that's kind of like their hardest part. Once it starts going down the esophagus, you can actually see that wide mouth work its way down the body. So there he goes. They do have little teeth. They kind of point backwards toward the mouth, for example. So as he's biting, those teeth angled backwards kind of provide a little gripping surface so he can work right side, left side, right side, left side. And those little teeny teeth in there will kind of move that mouse in there for him. With that said, they don't have fangs. So everybody worries about the rattlesnake and the big fangs that'll get you. Gopher snakes don't have those. So If they bit you, it might break the skin, but it's not going to be a big puncture wound like it would be on some other snakes with fangs. This snake is pretty common through North America. This is a Sonoran gopher snake. And so this one's found throughout Arizona, but specifically in states in the Southwest is kind of its most common territory. So all the bones and parts of the mouse, you can kind of see it moving back in the body there by the water bowl. Yeah, so all the bones and everything he's swallowing now should get dissolved. So it should all be something that gets consumed and dissolved by the mouse. When they defecate later, it's not like a skeleton remains, it's all pretty much digested. We think Bob's about 10 years old. These guys can grow up to about 9 feet long, but he's pretty close to his maximum length. So I don't know how long he is, but he's pretty close to the max that he will get. So this is some of that snake skin. I'll pull this out of here. It's really thin. Kind of feels like wax paper with a texture to it. Let's see how close I can get to the camera. If you look really close, you can see the snake scales on top. Underneath, the scales are a lot bigger. That provides kind of a real interesting, just kind of like a nice flat, smoother surface so they can kind of slither better. He's slithered all over this for the last couple days with all of his energy, and so it's kind of broken up into little pieces now. But he's a happy snake, healthy snake. So thanks for tuning in. It was great to have you guys join us here at the EEC. When we're back open again, it'd be great to have you come stop in and check it out yourself.